knowledge so deep. Gaming history, secrets it keeps. Late night with the Garage Gamer, where the fun never ends, where the fun. With Chris, Eric, Nathan, and Travis, they're your gaming friends. Chris from a Soul Jackson's Media Grounds, movie reviews and gaming sounds. Eric the Professor, knowledge so deep. Gaming history, secrets he keeps. Late night with the Garage Gamer, where the fun never ends, where the fun. With Chris, Eric, Nathan, and Travis, they're your gaming friends. Nathan the 8-bit legend, old school cool. Retro games, he's the rule. Travis the PC master, tech so fine. Building rigs, crossing a line. Late night with the Garage Gamer, where the fun never ends, where the fun. With Chris, Eric, Nathan, and Travis, they're your gaming friends. So grab your snacks and settle in. The Garage Gamer show is about to begin. Late night with the Garage Gamer.
What up, everybody? Late Night Live, episode 68. What's going on, everybody? And
69 next week.
Right. Episode 69 is next week. Yeah, so
we're
that'll
going
be
to jump straight to 70. We're just going straight into 70.
We should just live stream Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And we can just comment on the shenanigans.
Yeah.
That'll be a good one. I'd say hi to everyone in the chat, but the only one I've seen so far is this guy. So, hey, what's going on, NES Gaming Legend? I don't know who you are, but
not a whole lot, just hanging out with my peeps.
Looks like we got a full crew for right now. Some of us might be leaving early, Dathan, but yeah, appreciate all you guys. Ace of Jacks Media Grounds, Chris, how was your week, sir?
It was a pretty good week. Not too bad. Finished Blueprints.
Oh, nice.
As far as like the main story goes, the purpose of the game and everything to get to Room 46, I did that. But then, of course, it still has more after that.
You need to get all the achievements.
Oh, God.
There was a Room 69.
I went back to South of Midnight through Chapter 7 on that one, and then I played some more Atomfall and picked up Obscure Player Expedition 33, and of course played a little bit of the remaster of Elder Scrolls Oblivion. So,
how's South of Midnight? I feel like we haven't talked about the actual gameplay of that game.
The gameplay is really good, and the lore that they kind of have going on is, I'm actually intrigued by it. Like the story wise, it's keeping me involved in everything. The main character is kind of an angsty teenager, and so she makes a lot of like angsty quips that you're kind of like, this doesn't really land.
Yeah,
you know, because I'm not in that demographic for the angsty teen.
You're on the other side of it, and so it's irritating.
And so I'm just like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
But otherwise, gameplay wise, it's really good, and the story itself is good enough to keep me going. But I guess there's 14 chapters, so I'm halfway through the game at this point. So I'm like, I need to stop playing these other ones, just change that one up, and then go back.
What was that, the one with the stop motion style?
Yeah.
How is that treating you?
It's not as stop motion as I thought it was going to be. Like, there's only been a few moments in the game so far that I've come across where it's been like a stop motion-esque. The rest of it just kind of looks like it was trying to achieve that, but they gave up on it. And so it doesn't feel so much like a stop motion at times.
You know who was enjoying that when we talked to him was Meatball Saucy. He was like playing a chapter a night. I'm not sure if he's here tonight. Maybe he'll fill us in if he beat the game or not. But
I wonder if they had a power outage with Shador Sanders not getting drafted in the NFL. You know,
I think it was more than a power outage with that. But yeah. 8-bit gaming legend Dathan, what's going on, man?
What's up, children? How we doing today?
How was your week? Doing good.
It's been a week. It's there's a lot. My week's not really over until probably at Sunday afternoon. So, but what did I do this week? I played a lot of Assassin's Creed. I think I'm about halfway done. I got Expedition 33 in the queue, ready for that.
Oh, okay.
Waiting. I'm hoping to finish Assassin's Creed and Expedition 33 before Doom comes out next month. Try to. And then played some pinball with Eric yesterday. Went to dinner. Played some Jaws pinball.
Pinball date?
We were a little disappointed because the pinball machine wasn't kept very well.
And it was a limited edition. It was like the highest one.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
We went to just up the pizza place by my house. And well, there were people that were playing the Thunderball, 007, whatever it was. So we didn't get to play that. And I'm not very good at Godzilla, so I didn't. We didn't play that. But yeah, it kind of sucked because the 3 of the drop targets weren't working, and you have to get those to progress to get a couple of the quest things in the Stern app. So we couldn't really do a whole lot. But it was fine. It was okay. But yeah, other than that, we'll talk about the Switch 2. That was pretty much it for the most part. I got a half marathon tomorrow. I can't wait for that. Go team.
Where's the marathon at?
It's actually just down the street from my house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's not too far, so I can just walk to the start line, and then we can walk back. And my wife is doing the 10K. So yeah, that should be fun, I guess. We'll see.
Did you have what's the meal before the run? Did you do a spaghetti feed, or do you load up on carbs, or is it?
Not usually. A lot of water. I mean, it's probably. I'm drinking water right now. I'm probably on my 5th gallon of water today. So if you see me get up and leave, it's because I have to go pee.
Yeah, when I was in track, you'd have to make sure you were, you were hydrated if your pee was clear.
Yes, but it's usually I don't do coffee. I don't do any of that sort of thing. I do protein bars in the morning with water. And then throughout the race, I'll stop at every water station, because if you realize that you're dehydrated during the race, it's too late. It's not going to be a good day for you. So I just try to consume as much water as I can. And then after the race, they're doing beer and pancakes and stuff like that. So I'll be all over that.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's my week so far.
You need to attach a GoPro to you and then just run with that.
I did do that one time for a zombie race that I did. And then
right, the zombie race with Eric.
Yeah, I did. It was and then I didn't realize that the audio recorded because I did a test, and I was like, oh, there's no audio, it'd be fine. But it turned out I didn't hit the right button, and there was audio, and I had to get rid of that video file. It was
gotcha.
Not the best.
All right. Eric, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Yeah.
I guess there needs to be another zombie run. Maybe we'll all go to that. Some of us will be the zombies.
I need to get back into zombie. Yeah.
What's going on? A light in this dark world. Good evening. Did you play any games last week, Eric?
I've been playing a lot of that Samus Returns for the 3DS, and I'm loving it. It's great. It's if you've played Metroid Dread and then you go back and play this one, you're like, oh, this is where Metroid Dread got all of its ideas. So if you like Dread, you'll like Samus Returns. And but what I'm surprised by is that the 3D effect for that game in particular on the 3DS, it doesn't get old. Like I would expect it to be like 3D movies. After 15 minutes, you're kind of tired of, or you don't even notice that it's 3D anymore. But for some reason, Samus Returns, it's always amazing to me.
Yeah, amazing what they could do on those consoles from the older stuff. Some of it holds up today,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, of course, I would say that, but yeah.
Yeah. Of course you would. Yeah. Travis, the PC Master.
Good evening.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, man. Got home
Good.
from a little school event, which didn't go as long as I thought it would. And yeah, so I'm here.
Talking about school events, I had one last night. I went to a family, it was family fun night at the elementary school.
Oh yeah,
And
was it fun?
Was it family?
Yeah,
it was family. That's a given, Eric. Come on.
Right. They had a bouncy house for the kids.
I snuck in. There was I wasn't family.
That's
No,
not.
you gotta sneak in with Chris because you're the adopted.
I'm his family.
That's right.
Yeah. You got to go with Chris. So they had a bouncy.
They had a bouncy house.
You jumped in that.
They had a book fair going on too, so we bought some books for the kids.
That's good.
And I got a nice hot dog to eat and a Capri Sun to drink.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And they had shaved ice. Those it wasn't like the Hawaii. Well, it's like the Hawaiian style ice, but it's not like at the big Hawaii. When you go to Hawaii, you get the big one. I'm just talking about like normal, the American style. They had that, so it's cool. But
Well, it sounds like it was fun and family.
right, and the family they were there too.
It checked Eric's boxes.
But how was your week? Did you play any games last week?
I did. I tried. So I bought both Indiana Jones in the Circle of Whatever, and then I bought Last of Us Part 2. I tried both of them for a bit, but I think I've settled on Indiana Jones in the Great Circle. I believe is what I'm looking for. And it's good, but the thing is like you play Indiana Jones, who's an angsty archaeologist, and don't really relate to the quips because I'm not an archaeologist. So that part,
Jesus Christ!
But other than that, it's pretty good. I guess I sold it short by thinking it would be a Tomb Raider knockoff. Like when they said, "Hey, it's Indiana Jones," I figured it would be. I don't feel like it is. I feel like it's more focused on at least in the beginning where I'm in Vatican City, at the part that I'm at, it's more focused on legit puzzles, not Tomb Raider style puzzles.
Do you think the game is playing better now than when you bought it originally? Because let's tell everyone the whole story. You played the game when it launched, right? And then you returned it.
Yeah, that's correct. Don't tempt me. I've still got a couple days. You're making me angry at the game again, so I might just go return it and play Last Part 2. Yeah, good point.
But,
no, so the jarringness of the 60 frames per second is way more pronounced in the jungle in the beginning, where you're walking along, and then for the cutscenes, it just randomly throws them in. So if you're gaming at a higher frame rate standard, like 120. And then it goes to move a vine across and drops to 60. I feel like that's a lot more jarring than when you're actually in the game in Vatican City. It doesn't seem to be doing the cutscenes. The cutscenes that exist are like legit. These are cutscenes, not cutscenes that are smashed into like actual like what you think would be gameplay. Do I like the fact that the cutscenes are strict or 60 frames per second? No, do better, Indiana Jones people. But they're using the Doom engine, and I guess that's the weakness of that engine. Like that's an artifact from the one that they're using. It'll be interesting to see if the new Doom has that issue. But Doom normally doesn't have cutscenes, so what's it matter? Right?
What I've read, there is going to be cutscenes in Doom the Dark Age.
In the new Doom. Yeah, I'm guessing that they updated the engine to not limit cutscenes to 60 FPS
it may be
even
using a
PlayStation
different
5 is like all,
engine. I think
yeah.
they always talk about when I hear them doing Doom, they have Doom Tech or Doom
Mhm.
oh id Tech. That's what,
id Tech is the old engine or
yeah.
the what they call their yeah. But no, I like it. I like it. Okay. You know what? You know the thing that I will say actually is the complaint that I have on the game isn't about FPS anymore. It's actually the voice actor does a great job, like 70% of the time. But the more that you listen to him, the more it doesn't sound like Harrison Ford.
I thought he does a pretty dang good job, in my opinion.
I mean, he does a really good job of being Harrison Ford, not being Harrison Ford. But it's not. It's close, right? I guess, Eric, what do you call this? Like when things look close enough, but they're not there. Valley of whatever.
The Uncanny Valley.
The Uncanny Valley. Yeah. I guess it suffers from that for me.
Okay. Someone wants to know what you're eating tonight.
I was going to say, to be, I've got a whole spread. To be fair, Harrison Ford is playing someone else. He's playing Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's true. And I did watch Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom with my older daughter. I did that this week too.
That belongs in a museum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she thought it was good. That was her review.
It was good.
Yeah.
Well, I had a
So,
good week. I bought some new stuff. I just want to. I think I'm ready to go to some conventions now. I got a new video camera for vlogging.
Cool.
So I've seen so many YouTube videos on this thing. Like I just had to. I picked one up finally. That's why I was in Clackamas earlier this week. Eric saw because I. Yeah, right.
Thanks for saying hi. Sure.
That was only up in the Portland area. There weren't any in Salem, so I wanted to pick one up. And I got a couple new toys. I did play Oblivion. We'll get to that. And and I watched season 1 of Andor.
Oh yeah,
You're
yeah.
welcome.
It's good.
Yeah, he's just a tourist.
Yeah. Mike Hawk Hertz is here. Had to settle for the Switch 2 Standard Edition. It was the only line I made it through on.
Oh, crazy! Yeah. I made it through the line for the one that came with that came with Mario Kart, but I just canceled it.
Back to Andor though, like I think I've been told things about it, and like I remember, like I guess you guys have all seen season 1 now, like like I think someone told me about the ending, like that when he's in the prison and he's making that object and they don't know what it is, and then there's some thing at the very end, like, oh, it's something for the Death Star. I was like, someone had told me that, and like, all right, that clicks.
I didn't even put that together.
But man, the writing on that show is excellent. The acting, really good. Man, that is some of the best Star Wars they've had in a long time.
It was good.
The first 3 episodes aren't slow.
Yeah, and you really like compared to the Acolyte. It's not. How is the Acolyte and that even the same universe? It's crazy. So I'm really looking forward to watching season 2 tomorrow. You guys have already seen it, some of it, I'm sure. So, yeah. But I think maybe when I started watching it, I think I'd kind of gotten tired of Star Wars at the time. Like maybe I'd just come off Mandalorian and.
Well, there were so many Star Wars. There's a ton that are on Disney Plus that it's kind of hard to keep track, and you do get burned out.
Yeah.
And Andor, to be fair, from what I've seen of the others, because I haven't seen the others, but I think that you guys could correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed like it was a bigger departure from what Disney Plus had been putting out as well.
Star Wars wise, yes.
So you're kind of
Mhm.
Yeah, so you're kind of needle in a haystack if you're kind of, like it'd be easy to get exhausted and not realize that Andor is so different from the rest
with
of it.
Andor, I was a little
You know.
skeptical at first. The first episode or two, I was like,
Mhm.
I don't know about this. And then it started to progress. I was like, wait a minute, this is actually really good.
Mhm.
It's getting better and better. And then I was like, when's season 2 going to happen?
Yeah, you got to get
Yeah.
it to see episode.
No,
3.
but he's a character in another show, right? Like I just came into it because Eric said, "Hey, give this a watch."
He's
Rogue One.
he's one of the.
Yeah.
He was in
actually,
Rogue
yeah,
One.
He's an
Oh,
Ewok.
okay,
It's Wicked's buddy.
he's an Ewok. Yeah. He's Wicket's brother.
That's
right.
I
That's
didn't.
cool.
I didn't.
That tracks.
I didn't figure that out.
They
No,
He-
that's a spoiler
he's
for
adopted,
season 2.
so I mean, obviously, but yeah, he's.
No, I haven't. I didn't put it together that he was in Rogue One. I actually didn't like Rogue One a ton. I thought it was okay, but I didn't think that it was as great.
I
as
like it more every
everyone,
time I watch it.
I've only seen
only
it
seen it once.
a couple times.
problem.
But, it like Eric said, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now the villain that they're pumping up in Andor, is he going to be the guy from the Timothy Zahn books? The villain?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm. You're crossing the streams. Don't cross the streams.
You don't think so?
No.
I'm kind of thinking he will be.
I don't know, Eric. I think that Disney Plus may cross the streams. I mean, that stuff kind of writes itself, right?
No, it's different timelines. It's
Really?
Oh, I see. Okay.
I mean,
Well, I guess I haven't seen season 2, so I don't know.
that villain does exist at this time, but isn't prominent yet.
What's that guy's name?
It's not important. No spoilers.
John.
John.
I just remember the author Timothy Zahn, and that was a good trilogy back in high school. We read. Yeah. So. Okay. All right. Let's talk about Switch 2 first, because it seems like that was the main hot button issue, and then we'll get to Elder Scrolls. Did everyone that tried to get a Switch 2, did they get one?
Yes.
Nope.
Travis got one?
I'm being serious. I made it through the line just to see, because Best Buy app was like, hey, you can get the Switch 2 in an hour. And then it popped up a notification on my phone like, hey, you can get a Switch 2. So I clicked on it, and then it put me in line. And then I said, I wonder if this is going to be just as much of a crap show as when I try to get a GPU for my PC. And so I just sat there for a little bit, and it said, hey, you can proceed to check out for one of these two. So it was either the Switch 2 or the Switch 2 with Mario Kart. So I clicked on Switch 2 with Mario Kart, and then I sat there for a little bit and I Googled, is the Switch 2 much better than the Switch? Because I have a Switch and I don't play it, right? Because I was thinking, well, hey, I'll throw this in my room and finally get around to playing Zelda. And it said no, because it doesn't even have an OLED. I mean, it gave a couple different, Google's AI gave a couple reasons why maybe you would want it, but it wasn't all about it. So I went back to the cart and I canceled it. Gave it to somebody else, I think.
All right. Gave it to somebody that wanted it. That's good.
Yeah, which is good, right? Now, but then I went today and looked, and they're gone. So the pre-sales are gone now.
Yep, they are sold out. Real people were saying about, and I know Eric, you didn't buy it for other reasons, but
I did not.
There's other YouTubers that I watch that were just shitting on this thing and like saying that no one was going to buy it.
Oh yeah.
And that you're going to be able to pre-order it no problem. And all the demand and stuff is just not going to be there. It's going to be piece of cake to get one, but the people here that wanted to get one, I think we did, but it's really funny to me that now there's articles from Bloomberg and some other people saying this could possibly be the biggest console launch of all time. And
The Switch 2?
Yep.
Until the next one. Till the next.
Until the PlayStation.
Until the next biggest launch.
Until the next one. But up until now. So I don't know. I find it funny, and I'm not I don't want to like rag on anyone for like, I don't know. I'm no names, but
I'm willing
really
to drop Nintendo as a name. They were like, "Oh, you're not going to have any of those supply problems we had last time. We've got that all ironed out now." So I'm happy to crap on them.
Well, to be fair, Eric, it is only pre-orders. I mean, they could exceed the pre-orders with inventory that makes that actually still true. Like on day one, if Best Buy fills all their pre-orders and has another 300 sitting there, then Nintendo has fixed its supply chain problems, right?
I'm willing to eat my
they
words
didn't
when that
say
happens.
that if you don't pre-order it, you're not getting one for
That's
a
true.
month. They didn't say that. So who
I
knows?
will eat my words if that's the case.
Oh, get ready. That's, as a matter of fact, what week does it come out?
June.
I don't know. What's my penance if I'm wrong? I will tribute $50 to the claw machine.
Chris doesn't have to post in. Chris doesn't have to ask in chat what is Eric eating, because that'll be his word. Because Nintendo came to the promise. No, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's kind of funny when I say, to your point, Eric, that there isn't going to be a supply chain issue. Because in a way, it's like, why would you say that? Don't you want people to think that demand is going to be scarce and they better hop on it right away? Like, I don't know why they would have even said it to begin with.
Yeah, there's a notion that Nintendo is creating artificial scarcity by putting out some of these statements that no one's going to be able to get.
They're creating actual scarcity by only having 2 launch titles. That's the actual scarcity. Good luck playing anything on it.
Because you can't play any of your old titles either.
You can on a Switch. There's no scarcity there.
Well, did you get one, Dathan? Were you interested?
No,
you weren't interested, right?
Like I was before we started the show. I was telling the guys. I went to bed at 8:30, and then I woke up to my phone with just notifications just for days, and
the same thing I got, right? Like where the apps are just.
It wasn't your wife.
All this stuff, and then the GameStop debacle was, I think, the funniest. Where apparently they sold them 20 minutes early before the actual set time. I think they were supposed to go up at noon. Or 11.
I was wondering if someone was going to go ahead launch it early, and I set notifications just in case, because sometimes that definitely happens.
Yeah, because it was GameStop, and then their website crashed, and shocker there. But no, I didn't try. I didn't care. I don't like Eric. I have no attachment to the Switch Pro console at all right now at this time.
Yeah.
And what's funny have a new Zelda game come out with it, I'm all for it. But there's not going to be a new Zelda game for probably 2 or 3 more years.
What was interesting, Dathan, is your review is what steered me away from even buying it. Like, that is what Google AI said. Yeah. When I said, like, what is it? It was like, you could think of this as a minor upgrade. In some ways a downgrade, because it really did knock it for not having an OLED screen.
And kudos to all the people that got it and that wanted one, and they got a console. And one of my coworkers, she was saying that her boyfriend likes to get all the new consoles ahead of time. Like, that's like his tradition.
Sure.
I was like, that's awesome. That's keep it going. For
real.
But I do feel bad for some people that stayed up till 4 or 5 in the morning on the East Coast to make it, and they got through and they got their pre-order only to have it canceled 5 minutes later from Target or something like that.
Oh, was that happening?
I didn't get through to any of them except Target and Walmart. So Target, I got through, and it said thank you for the order, and then I go to my email, it said your order's been canceled, and so I was like,
oh no,
I was like, well, you guys suck. And then 10 minutes later, I got an email from Target telling me thank you for the order. They sent the cancellation before they sent the order. So it was the
Huh.
exact same order, but they had sent me the cancellation email first, and then they sent me the order email after. But when I clicked on the order email, it went in and it said this order was canceled. And so there were a lot.
So you don't
I don't
have
have it. There were a lot of people on Twitter who were talking about how Target had reinstated their orders that had been canceled because they didn't realize what had happened. Is their system was
wait.
sending
The
out
message. The message.
Did you get one or
report
did you
saint.
did not get?
I didn't get one.
He didn't
You
get
didn't
one.
get
You
one.
didn't get one.
I didn't
Mhm.
get one. When
No.
I was on Walmart, I was in line for the base edition without the game, and it sent me to the Rave line instead. So all I got was a flashing screen for like 15.
You got redirected to Zombo.
And you were using your
That'd be pretty rad if that's what they did. They hacked you, threw you out to Zombocom, and you're just sitting
Well,
there.
I was
Did
just
your
sitting-
brothers get
Except
one?
getting a Switch too.
My brother got two.
Yeah.
Your brother got two.
Oh,
you're
okay.
fine.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, with you telling me that story, that makes me feel bad because then I should have just bought one and then just gave it.
No,
to
I
you. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean,
Like,
in all honesty, this whole thing kind of reminded me of like older launches, like pre-order launches and everything. Like
Oh yeah.
just being a part of it
Yeah.
was it was like a fun experience because I was watching another YouTuber as he was streaming trying to get one and he never got one on his
Michael
stream.
B.
He ended up getting one the next day, but still, it was like it was just such a fun little thing to sit there and be like, oh, this kind of takes me back to the day when you'd stand in line at Best Buy and
Yeah.
they'd come out, give you your number, and then you'd go in and they'd be like, sorry, we're all sold out, sucker.
that is part of why I have a video card in my desktop right now, is just for the hunt. It was just to do it, you know.
So
Alicrian, are you here? Why did he buy two of them? Why did you get two? Is he selling one?
he's
giving that-
well, I'm gonna be buying the other one from him.
Oh,
but-
you're buying the other one.
yeah. So
Okay. Where did he get the ones he got?
one was through Best Buy and I think one was Walmart.
Okay.
But yeah, the Target one, I was kind of like, why would you send me the cancellation before the actual order email? Like
Refreshed so many times that it actually went through at one point, but then you I don't know, you messed up something.
No, with Target it was the first time I got on there, got in line, put it in my cart, entered my information, hit submit. I didn't have it come up with an error at all. So I saw people were saying they were getting errors when they were in checkout, but I didn't have that. I just automatically got an email that told me it was canceled. And then I got the actual order email 10 minutes later. And I was like, oh, man, it actually went through. And then I clicked on it. It's like, no, this order was canceled. And I was just like.
And then you just gave up?
No, I sat there in Walmart's online queue. And that's when it sent me to the Rave site. And I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm the only one here in the Rave side. You guys are all waiting for your Switch 2s for checkout, and I'm at the Rave.
At least you got a party out of it, you know. And that's why you thought it felt like, you know, the old days. You thought it felt fun. It's not a bad tactic.
Yeah.
So I just want to talk about my experience here. So I had my wife using her phone, and then I was using my phone, and we're watching an episode of Andor at the same time, Eric. So it was all good.
Nice.
I was not on my PC going to some rave site, but
That's too bad. That sounds like
she
a party.
has Walmart Plus, and she was able to get one through Walmart before me, and we were both in line at Walmart, and I was using Target's app. Best Buy didn't come on until 9:30 or something, but yeah, we were able to get one through her. So kudos to my wife. I find it's also interesting to what company has the best website to handle this much traffic. I felt
If Target was, you were on Target, right,
Yeah.
Chris? And so they sent you to a rave site. They gave you like
no, Walmart sent me the rave site. Target.
Oh, Walmart sent you to the rave site, and so they gave you a hit of MDMA, right? Because if so, they win the award for who's got the
That's a
best
good line.
pre-launch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Walmart had the best setup, at least on your phone.
Yeah.
I didn't never got sent to some rave site. I just said on mine, it just said you're waiting in line. Please be patient. Targets, you would try to put in your information. Like I think I got it in my cart several times, but then it would try to confirm my address, and that was never working right. And then you go to check out, and it would say your address is wrong. Some kind of error with that, and then you try to refresh, and then you got to go back to square one. You just keep doing that over and over again, and yeah, not good. And I didn't even try GameStop, obviously, the next day. But for me, I think Walmart was able to. We were successful through Walmart, so I guess I'm happy with them and how they're how their website performed with that much traffic going through. It's crazy, and they got to have different strategies, and I don't know. Maybe they don't care. I feel like a company like GameStop at this point doesn't care because they're probably going to be bankrupt in a couple months anyway.
Well, I think people need to understand that this is just the first wave of pre-orders. There's going to be more, and so I hope people don't jump on eBay and start buying them from scalpers.
No, it's gone. Like you're not gonna when the new Zelda game comes out, Dathan. You're gonna have to wait till 20 years when Eric gets one.
Switch 3. You're gonna have to wait.
Yeah.
No, but Dathan, does Nintendo typically do, or for consoles, do they typically do like, hey, week 1 of pre-orders, and then we're going to release more pre-order?
Oh, yeah. They'll do more.
Ability.
Yeah, they'll do more.
Okay.
There's going to be a steady stream of these consoles coming, but with the price, I don't know whether it's going to be comparison to hit it, whether it's going to stay at $450. I do know that the Mario Kart bundle is only going to be until the end of this year, I think, and then that'll go away, and then it'll just be the standard. But they're going to be because that's actually a decent deal, right? The Mario Kart bundle is adding Mario Kart for $50 to the price of the base, and the game itself sells for $80, I think, right?
Yeah, but it's the digital version is what they're including with the bundle, so you can't turn around and resell it. Sorry, Travis.
No, but that's fine for Garage Gamer.
I'm not selling my other copy of Mario Kart 8.
At least it won't blow up your Switch 2 or something like that when you put the disc in or whatnot. I guess the cartridge in. No, I thought that I think that's interesting because like video cards and computer parts, you don't get to pre-order. It's the day of release, and then you're just stuck, right? So the Best Buy experience for me went pretty well compared to what it's like to try to buy a video card from Best Buy. To the point where I actually didn't believe that it was working. Yeah. So
I think the difference though too is not only did you get like normal, like I'd say we're more hardcore video game people, right? But like the casual customer wanted to get this. Like I'm hearing like reports, like just hearing people at my work wanted to get one, and my wife's boss tried to get one. Like I got
but enough to where they wanted to pre-order it. Oh, okay, okay.
Why?
Because Eric, it's super
FOMO,
cool. It's
FOMO
way better
basically,
than Switch.
and what I was hearing FOMO,
FOMO,
and then
right.
they're worried the price is going to go up.
Yeah,
the main
that's
things
fair.
That I saw.
FOMO, I don't super understand, but the price stuff makes a lot of sense to me.
Well, if you don't get your gelatinous multi-ball at Dungeons and Dragons, and everybody else around you does, don't you think you'd start to get that FOMO there? Like you're missing out.
I still want to get Tavern multi-ball. That's the one I want next, but whatever. Yeah, no FOMO.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because there is I think the pre-orders for the Switch 2 was kind of off the charts compared to when they had the Switch 2 Direct on the 2nd of April, and people online were kind of like, I'm not buying this. Nobody's buying this.
Exactly.
This isn't going to happen. Get out of here. And then they have the pre-orders, and just like, it was like, oh, yeah, you 5 people out there online who are saying that it's not going to happen clearly missed the mark.
It didn't matter what Nintendo was charging for this thing. People were going to buy it. And everyone was screaming in the chat, lower the price, lower the price. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. And Nintendo stock is now at a record high. They're, at least on Thursday, they were trading at $19.82. That's the highest they've ever been.
What? No.
Yeah.
They've been higher than that. They had to have been.
I'm looking at Market Insider. I don't know what is this website.
$19 doesn't seem like very much.
That doesn't seem high at all.
It just depends on how many shares they opened with. Is all.
And the company's market value is now listed at $92 billion. So, anyway. But yeah, Mike Hawkhurts, I got Switch 1 at Target on launch day and signed up for the red card that day to get 15% off. Literally, that has been the biggest perk in 7 years I've had the card. Okay.
Don't you get like a percentage of your purchases back as credit? Isn't that what that red card does?
My wife would be the one to ask that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have it.
Well, there's a special guest.
Hey, honey.
We can get that. We can get a Target sponsorship. This is gonna be
Yeah. Now that we've been talking about how their website's shit.
Oh, wait.
No. Bring it back. This is
I
great.
don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe Walmart will also sponsor us. We get Target for 5 minutes or for a 30-second spot in Walmart. Talk about the Raven.
Are we going to get?
Thanks
Is
for
it going to
the
be
meeting.
Walmart Pharmacy? Is what sponsors us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hit them up before the rave.
I thought we were gonna try to get Robo since we all can get free Transformer.
Oh, there. Let's
what
get
I
all of it. Like,
That's true
let's
too.
just get every sponsor we
Yeah.
can.
I will say
Yeah.
something a little off topic, but I pre-ordered some stuff on Big Bad Toy Store a while ago, and that has come out with about a month ago in retail stores, and Big Bad Toy Store hasn't done anything. They haven't notified me or shipped anything.
Oh, ouch.
Oh,
Not the best thing right now.
Uh-oh. You haven't
That's not
gotten
good.
anything from Big Bad Toy Store lately?
No, I pre-ordered a bunch of the Studio Series Constructicons, and I haven't gotten them yet.
I just got these last week. I got my.
Did they raise the
maximum.
Did they raise the price because of the tariffs?
No, because I pre-ordered them before the tariffs hit.
Yeah, so did I, and I still haven't got them yet. So we'll see. I'm not in any hurry.
yeah, but that's still kind of lame that you didn't get any sort of notification. This stuff's out, right? Like it released and you pre-ordered it.
Yeah, but sometimes Big Bad Toy Store gets stuff a little bit later. I think.
Oh, okay, I
and like
see.
I said, it's not. It's some of it's not their fault. It's my orders are still there. It'll show up. I would actually rather get it from them because I know they take care of their stuff other than some other places do. But
Mike Hawkhurst says, okay, so the deal with the stock, the value had been higher in the past, but the Nintendo stock split a few years ago, which is why the overall value is higher now. Thank you.
That makes sense.
I love being proven right. Thank you.
Well, you were partially right. Because I remember looking at the stock a long time ago, and it was like $65.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know it had split.
And then it'll split again in a few years. We'll just keep splitting exponentially.
All right. Want to talk about Elder Scrolls?
That's my cue to take off, gentlemen.
All right, he's out.
45 minutes. Yeah, I gotta go, so I gotta race tomorrow.
All right.
So you guys have
All right,
fun
Dathan.
with everything.
Have fun at the race, man.
I wouldn't say that it's fun, but it's a thing. So
You keep doing it.
Yep.
You're doing it for some reason.
Finish
Yeah.
first. You're
Yep.
champ.
All right.
Later, man.
Peace out.
True.
Good night.
All right. So
I'll be right back.
They're
everyone's
dropping like flies.
I'll see you later, guys. No, just kidding.
Did Chris? You played this for a little bit. I don't know if Eric got to play it at all. What'd you think?
It's still got some of the jank that it had before. I noticed if you play the game in first person, it's a little bit harder to actually land hits on enemies, but it feels like the old 360 when I played it there. And then when I go into third person view, it seems like it's too easy to hit enemies, but the way the character runs is kind of funny to watch. So I just like playing in third person. So, but I do like the Unreal Engine 5 upgrade. Looks really nice for what it is. I still need to get my $10 horse armor to really experience the Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Did you buy the horse armor originally?
No.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But, that was the start of cosmetic DLC being charged actual prices instead of just being something that you...
Yeah.
That was a huge outrage back in the day.
Yeah, I remember it.
And look at how we've allowed companies to just bend us over the table and not even bother to give us lube anymore. Bastards.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, thanks a lot, Bethesda, and your $10 horse armor.
I've been playing it. Here's let's see. I can remember. I made my guy with the graphics are good.
What?
Did you see that? You can't hear me?
I can't hear you.
Oh, there,
You went underwater.
Oh.
you're good.
Okay,
You're
now.
good now.
Oh, okay.
You were leveling up swimming.
Can you hear me? All right, we're good. All right.
Yeah, you're good now.
I was gonna say I don't remember there being so many dang hills in this game, but there's a lot of hills you gotta walk.
I only remember being in a city when I played it briefly on Xbox.
And then you gotta attack the dogs. Well, that's a wolf. After playing Avowed, I am kind of taken back. Like, there's no hitbox detection. Like when you're trying to go for the head, it can't figure that out. So you can't do headshots.
Oh, you mean that just a hit is a hit on an
Right.
enemy? It doesn't matter where you actually tag them.
Exactly. So I'll give Avowed points for that for sure.
Who are you? How did you get this? What do you know of the Emperor's death?
Eric, did you play this game at all?
Sounds, I believe you. Only the strange
You didn't play the original?
Septim could have brought you to me carrying the
Wow.
I don't think Eric's played a single Elder Scrolls game.
His meaning is
Nope.
unclear to
Yeah.
me as
So
well.
you guys
The
played
Emperor seemed to
the
perceive
Dungeons
some
and Dragons
threat from
game,
the
but you didn't
demonic
play
world
this?
of Oblivion. The Prince of
Wow.
Destruction,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big
is
difference.
one of the lords of Oblivion.
I'm a Baldur's Gate guy.
But the mortal world is protected from the days
Hell,
of
I'm
Oblivion
a
by
Pools of
magical
Radiance guy.
barriers.
Let's go
What were
back.
you doing in 2006?
2006, I was back in school.
Yeah, but you had a GameCube back then.
Yeah.
Not this.
A
not an
GameCube, that
Xbox.
would have been 2001, 2002.
Well, that's what Eric had.
Yeah, remember
Yeah.
he doesn't upgrade to the Wii until 2020.
I thought that was a 20 thing he
I
said.
I built a PC. I built
Yeah,
a
you
PC.
did build a PC.
Wasn't this out on PC too?
Yeah, but Eric
It might have been.
Eric,
I
although
was in school.
Eric could build a PC, Eric couldn't necessarily build a good PC.
Okay. So if he had built a good PC, then he would have been playing this.
It was a 286 cobbled
33
together
hertz.
with a Dell Packard
Oh.
case he found somewhere. Yeah. No, so this was a bigger like Xbox hype title, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how I had a PC and I still played this on Xbox. Because it was hyped way more for Xbox than it was kind of in the PC arena. I think that's part of it. But then also, I mean, I never have bonded with Elder Scrolls games at all. Like, I try them and then I just quit playing them. Whereas I am like a Baldur's Gate sort of, Neverwinter Nights. You got to go save the Water Davian creatures and stuff sort of guy.
You must rescue the Water Davian creatures. What are you doing
Well,
here?
yeah, I mean, that's a pressing matter. In the Elder Scrolls games, you really have to, I mean, in Elder Scrolls games, I feel like you have to try to find your purpose in the game. The plot isn't just handed to you. Whereas the storytelling and the plots are handed to you in the D&D style games that Eric and I played on the PC.
Bard's Tale, same thing.
Yeah, Bard's Tale, same thing. Now that's not bad. It just is. It's just different, right? So, and I don't know, like, honestly, because I've never beat a Elder Scrolls game, I don't know how good the stories actually end up being in them.
Elder Scrolls Oblivion was probably the only one that the story like really got me, like involved in and everything. The biggest thing that I would say with Elder Scrolls is if you go back and play from the very first one on up, they keep changing. So Elder Scrolls 3, in order to level up your character, you had to like do like the different if you wanted to level up your sword fighting, you'd sword fight, but in order to actually level it up, you had to go to a campfire and level it up. So
like you practice all day, then you go to the campfire, and then it triggers all of the experience that you got doing that
but
one
if you
action to level
but
it
if
up,
you
right?
didn't know that, you'd be running around going, why am I not getting any stronger? Because you actually had to know you had to go to a campfire and do some other things in order for it to actually work. So Morrowind, which was number 3, I never got into because I was like, I've been at this for 6 hours. My character is not leveled up once. I hate this game completely.
Wait, Morrowind came out for Xbox.
Yeah, the original Xbox. Right?
That's the one that I'm thinking of where I spent all that time in the city. I don't think I actually tried Oblivion.
Yeah, but Oblivion was actually really good, and then Skyrim came out, and people were like,
"You guys didn't play Skyrim?
I played Skyrim.
This
briefly.
is the greatest thing ever." And then it just became, "Hey, I need you to go into this dungeon and get this item for me."
Yep.
And after,
Skyrim never grabbed me.
But they it apparently grabbed enough people that Bethesda was able to keep making remakes of it for 22 years. So, hey, Eric, you can start out at the original Skyrim, and 20 years later, you can be back at the newest one,
which is the same.
Yeah,
one.
I played Skyrim, and then I did the Skyrim in VR as well. I did the VR mod for it.
Do you know
and it
something
was
about his
that the VR mod was cool, but again, it's like one of the things I think I don't like about the Elder Scrolls games is the voice acting. I feel is really stilted, and that was really jarring in VR, even more so than just watching this cutscene here.
Unlike when you need to save the Water Davian creatures.
No, that voice acting is top.
I don't know. I love
I was
hearing
on fire for those little Water Davian
Patrick
creatures.
Stewart's voice in this game is incredible.
In Oblivion, right?
I think it has to. It brings you back.
Find him and close shut the jaws of Oblivion.
Oblivion. The music is also gets me. Like, you get that music on the title screen.
Yeah.
so good. There's the horse armor.
Yep.
But this was a shadow drop.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
cool how they dropped it. Like I thought that was cool. It wasn't there, and then it was.
So good on Microsoft.
And to be fair, they call it a remaster, but all of the reviews that I've seen of it, like when I've looked at it, it looks more than just a quote unquote remaster. Like it does look like it's a lot more of a step
I'm
up
sure
than
Chris
that.
he'll go into what makes it really a remake or a remaster, but
Well, I mean,
Well,
the
there's no real changes to the combat, right? So that would be
the original was only 5 gigs. This one's 120 gigs. So they really did remaster that.
Yeah.
There is a glitch. Like I'm 3 hours into it. There's a glitch when you're going to your first Oblivion gate and you're going into the castle, and one of the knights is supposed to follow you in to go get this amulet for this guy's body, and there's a glitch that was in the original game. It's also in this remaster. So like the character is supposed to go with you inside, and he doesn't. He's stuck in the outside and says, "Hey, we're here to storm the courtyard," and he doesn't. So it's like, all right.
No, that's just the story.
Yeah, maybe so. But I don't know. It doesn't make.
He says, "Okay, yeah,
come on, let's go fight."
You go
He's
ahead,
like
though.
waiting
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I'm trying to get him to come in.
Yeah,
and I
like,
totally remember that
you
glitch.
first. You storm the castle first. I'll be right behind you.
Meatball Saucy,
You
how
know,
was?
that makes
Yeah,
sense.
everyone wants to know how was Star Wars. So,
what are you talking about, Eric? They had the trade wars in the first one. You had a whole economic system,
which is way
going
more
on.
relevant now.
No, I remember back in the day, like Phantom Menace. I think I saw it 3 times in the theater, and I was like, "Oh, this is such an amazing movie." And now I look back at it, and I'm like, "God, this was a boring movie."
No. You saw it 3 times?
Yeah, I believe back then I saw it 3 times.
That's true. That's so crazy.
I saw The Matrix 5 times in 1 week.
It's over.
That's also crazy.
Because I was like, I have no idea what this movie's about. Went and saw it, and I was like, "Oh, Kung Fu, I'm in." Every day.
No, that did happen to me when I worked at the theater. That happened to me with Seven and Pulp Fiction, both because of the same reasons, though. Because I got movies for free. Different people hit me up at different times, calling me up saying, "Hey, take me to go see this movie. I hear a lot about it." And then I'd say, "Okay, fine, we'll go see it." And so Pulp Fiction, the first time I saw it, I didn't like it. Second time I saw it, I actually thought it was funny. Like, so then I started laughing at it. And then by the third time, I finally got it. And then I was like, okay, I get it now. So it took a while to get it, but I knew nothing about it going into it at all. Someone telling me like, "Hey, take me to this movie." Each time that happened, same thing with Seven. Seven, everybody wanted to go see, so I ended up seeing it like I think 5 times, taking different people to go see it.
Meatball Saucy, how old's your son?
I know. So I made that joke, Eric, back in the day. Like, I need to see seven times in the theater. I'm like,
well, there is only one movie I've ever seen more than once that it wasn't by choice.
Silence of the Lambs.
Save the Last Dance.
Oh.
Every time I went on a date, the date was always like, "Let's go see this movie," and I was like, "Son of a bitch, I hate this thing." But
you could have just told me you'd seen it before. I'd have picked a different.
Yeah, Eric would have picked a different one.
But yeah, I think I saw that one like 3 times in the theater because they just were like, "Yeah, this is the most romantic movie in the theaters right now. We gotta go see it."
The worst one that I took somebody on a date to that they picked.
This show's already going off the rails.
It was Notting Hill.
Oh, ouch.
Because that movie was boring beyond all for all of those types of movies. That was the worst. Okay, you can go back to your regular schedule.
Bridges of Madison County.
But that was
we got that one once. So
That had to be
awful.
boring. Yeah.
All right.
So Oblivion, so what did it cost you though, out of curiosity? Like, what is the remaster cost? I think it's the full on, like
It's
50.
50
but
for the remaster.
if you
But if
want
you
to
got Game
own
Pass, it's free.
yeah.
Oh, so it is a Game
Yeah.
Pass game. Man, they do keep selling that.
Well,
Oh, stupid. I hate this one.
the benefits there, but it's so funny too, because just last week, Phil Spencer was like, Game Pass isn't for everyone. Don't buy it.
Oh, did he? He threw that out there? He's like, don't get
for the last
subscriptions?
couple of years. He
He didn't say don't buy it. He said it's not.
We
for
need you to
everyone.
get onto Game Pass.
Yeah.
Well, he said that if you're just doing it to play one game, it's not worth it. Which, in that way, I agree. If you're just buying the subscription to be able to play one game one time, why pay the $20 in that
I
sense?
think
But
Right.
finally, Game Pass is finally amounting to be worth having a subscription for, because what's coming up, good. I'm gonna get charged next month the full whatever it is, 19 or 25
Well,
bucks
it's
a
$19,
month.
right? $20, yeah.
And I'm gonna let it do it because I want to play these games. So
Yeah, but here's my fear with the Game Pass and why I haven't jumped into these sort of subscriptions, except for the Ubisoft one to try the Star Wars game. And I canceled it right when I was done with the Star Wars game. Is when new music drops and I've got Amazon Prime Music as my music streaming service of choice. I do not, and today I forced myself to break this habit. I do not listen to music the same way that I used to when I spent that money on the music. Today I got a CD through Amazon Prime from an artist that I liked, and I listened to it and I said, nah, it wasn't that good. And then I moved on to the next thing that I'd been listening to that I did think was good for the last year. And then I said, wait a minute. I was in my car and, I'm thinking to myself, like, wait a minute. That you didn't give that CD a fair shake. If you had bought that back in the day, you would have restarted it and really listened again to see if there was anything on there that you actually did like, or if it just
how are
took
you
a while
getting
to grow.
CDs? Publishers?
No, I'm not.
Clearinghouse?
But what I'm saying is Amazon Prime releases, artists still release albums, right? So I'm equating release to a physical copy and how I would have acted when I actually bought the physical copy back in the day. I would have forced myself to listen to it again, even if on first go, I didn't really think it was that good, right? My fear with gaming streaming services is that I'll have too much choice and I won't actually beat Indiana Jones. I'll stop and I'll go try the next thing that came out. Same thing with with any of the games that are out there, right? I feel like when I buy them, even though they're digital copies, once I get past my 2-week return window, and don't tempt me, I'll then actually commit to beating the game and actually giving it a fair shake.
Well, that's the problem I'm having right now, which is why I'm trying to rein myself in, because South of Midnight, Obscure, Expedition 33, Elder Scrolls 4, they're
you got so much
they're all
to
on
choose
Game
from.
Pass right now, which is why I'm trying to kind of focus myself back and finish Atomfall, which is on Game Pass as well, because I'd started that one. I'm 14 hours into it. I want to finish that, and then I'm going to go back to South of Midnight and finish that one.
Yeah, I think
before.
Part of the reason I don't have other systems, I haven't built a PC. I mean, I could do these things, I just don't.
Well, we went over the problem.
Yeah,
with
that's
building
true.
a
I didn't say I could build a good one.
No,
it's
true.
Plenty of evidence to indicate that. Is that limits my choices, right? Having a Mac limits my choices profoundly. Having a Switch limits my choices pretty severely. So, I don't get lost down game rabbit holes. I don't buy stuff I don't play usually. So.
Now, I'm not saying that the same that these aren't good things though. That for people who do either want just the endless variety, like a buffet of games to just jump into and quit, that's not totally cool. And if you had the discipline, it's a really good deal because it's $20 a month in a AAA title. These games go for $50 to $70 a whack, right? So I mean, $20 a month. If you're beating a game once a month, that's a good deal. It really is. So I'm not saying that they're not good. It's just that for me, I fear that I'll give up on a game too easy. And I mean, it's part of why I haven't returned the blueprints. I still have it in my library. Now, one of the reasons I also didn't return it is, and this is going to sound like way more pompous than I wanted to, but it was $20, right? Like I feel like I can risk that and return it later without being rushed to go return it because I didn't jive with it right away.
What an ugly thing to say.
But this is the problem with Eric. I think Eric would like that game, and he can't play it right now.
I mean, that's the sacrifice, though. You
That is the sacrifice. And I feel like there's quite a few indie games that you can play that you like. So build that 286.
That's all right. In 20 years, they'll have figured something out, right?
I'll upgrade it to a 486. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. 486 DX 266.
The future's looking bright for gaming. Everything's going to be available on one system, an Xbox. All good.
Well, the thing too, though, is
it's
like
all
the
Xbox.
Mac.
Everything is
my Mac does play a lot more than it did 2 years ago, and Blueprints does have a beta Mac version out right now, so it requires some hoops to get it to work, I guess. But yeah,
I can wait.
Yeah, you can wait.
In 20 years, we might be dead. So
yeah, it's true. And then you'll never
just play it now.
On your tombstone, it'll say Eric didn't ever get to play.
Nope, I'll be a robot 20 years. They're just going to transplant my brain into a robot. I know it. I've seen it. Movies.
So
movies tell me what happened.
Meatball says, full transparency, I'm playing everything on easy or very easy. No shame in that, but why? Is the game hard, or is it because you just don't care about the combat, or do you typically play games on easy or very easy just because that's the experience you start with?
I think when you've gotten older, your
time becomes more valuable, right?
Your timing. Well, I was thinking, your time is more valuable, but I was thinking more like your timing on the controller is maybe not what it used to be. I know, like my eyesight's not what it used to be.
I'm in my prime.
No, that's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
That was embarrassing.
I haven't suffered from that yet. But I don't know. I mean, I never considered myself a good video game player, to be honest. I never had the consoles that you guys had growing up, so I never practiced those skills.
To be fair, we never considered you a good video game player.
Right. No, that's I wouldn't think that because I didn't have those kind of games. Now that being said, I didn't struggle with Elden Ring. Like it was like all the stuff that people complained about. I mean, sure, it took goes at it, but I beat stuff that nobody else could. Well, not nobody, but only 10% of people could apparently. So be said about that, I guess my skill there. But yeah, I never got to play the Twitch game sort of stuff.
For me, I started doing easy with a lot of games if they give me the choice, just because the enemies, there's not a massive array of enemies, so it's just fighting the same enemies over and over to the point where I'm kind of like, right? I just want to experience the story. The gameplay is fine, but can I just move on from this guy who I have now killed 365 times or whatever?
So are we now saying that we're all going to play Doom the Dark Ages on easy? And
you can't choose. It's gonna scale it for you. If you need easy, it'll make it easy. Is that what they advertise?
Is it? I thought the difficulties like hurt me and then hurt me more. Isn't that the Doom?
Well, it used to be, but I thought that they were advertising in the preview that we watched that it was going to scale as you played.
Oh, okay.
I thought
So
that
if you
that
really
was the game
suck,
that
it'll get
advertised that.
easier.
I think so, and if you're too good,
Okay.
then it'll ramp it up on you.
Okay.
Okay, so
That'd be interesting.
both Meatball and Thor, they're saying like what I actually agree with that in principle. I really do. I just can't bring myself to start the games on easy and do it. I just always default the difficulty and I don't drop them down.
I did for Darkest Dungeon. I played that on easy, but that's a notoriously hard game. So
sure,
that's the only game I can remember.
And like I said,
dropping.
I'm not arguing for or against it. I'm just curious because by all intents and purposes, I feel like I should be somebody who starts playing all games on easy and just get past it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But I don't. Like,
and
I just
maybe
play them as
maybe you
they're
want to play it
intended.
on easy at first, and then you could go back later and play it harder.
But I'm never going to do that.
Well, I know.
Well, you could.
I know I could. Yeah, it's just then I'll move on to the next game, right?
So Hideo Kojima's new one, Death Stranding 2, he said that with that one,
Hideo Kojima. Say his name right.
Let's
what is his name? Hideo?
Hideo?
Say it now.
You can't hold on. You can't correct them so strongly. You got to stick with your guns on that. You can pronounce it 50 different ways from here on out, but you always have to be confident in it. That's got to be your shtick.
Willamette.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, he said with Death Stranding 2, all boss fights are skippable. So if you go into a boss fight and you feel like you can't beat them, you can just choose to skip it completely. It will still give you the story, so you'll know what was going on, but you won't have to actually fight the boss. And so there's, I've seen like a subsect of people online who are like, how dare you add this to the game? This is going to completely ruin the experience. And he said that if you want to go back and fight the boss over and over, you can. But if you're somebody who doesn't want to, you can skip it. And it's like, he's not ruining the game experience for you if you decide that you want to keep playing the same boss over and over because you can't beat them. He's just giving an option to the people who don't want to sit there and beat their head against the wall for an hour.
I think, if you're a game developer, you want the game to be fun, and you don't want people to get pissed off if they turn it off, and then they tell their friends like us, saying, yeah, this game sucks because I couldn't beat this boss. Don't buy this game. He does not want that to happen. He wants you to have fun. So I would never review a game that way, though. Like, I would say, okay, so for example, I didn't get the expansion to Elden Ring. One, because I didn't like Elden Ring that much. But two, because I knew that if I got it. Oh, I know everybody disagrees on that. But two, I didn't really want to have to. Okay, so here's where Elden Ring loses it for me. It's actually not the difficulty in the boss battles. It's the lack of knowing where to go next. And like that's actually my biggest challenge with Indiana Jones. I'm having one heck of a time navigating around Vatican City. And I don't know why. Did you take pictures of all the cats yet?
I took pictures of a cat. Maybe
you gotta
two.
Find all the cats. You gotta take pictures of them.
Right. But like I'm having a hard time where it says like, hey, go into this area. I'm having a hard time figuring out where doors are, how I can get into areas. Like, and then I'll go to an area, traverse all the way back to the other thing to tell the guy, hey, yeah, I did this thing for you. And then he'll be like, great. Go back to that same area and go talk to this lady. And then I will just sit there and go, how the heck did I get to that area? Now, I think it's because the Vatican City level design is
very good.
See, I was going to say, I think it's kind of boring.
The Vatican is very detailed. I found it like you'll go through a maze.
Yeah, but it's all construction sites.
Have you gone like underneath the Vatican and done all that?
No, that's where I'm at right now. I'm in the dungeon part right now. That part's cool.
There's some parts where you'll pop up on the other side and you'll be like, yeah, how the heck did I get to this part? Like, oh, that's how I do it. And then you can also do some stuff where you're traversing on top of the buildings.
Yeah, I've
to
done
get to
that.
certain areas. Like
yeah.
there's like a tower you need to get to at one point, and there's a hidden room you'll eventually find. And
Okay.
I don't know. Some of the stuff. There's also stealth in that game. So
There is stealth.
Yeah, Eric. There's stealth in Indiana Jones. And if you have a different costume on, you can.
Then you're allowed into certain areas, right?
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that, and I'm saying it's probably a me thing, right? So I don't complain about I don't set the difficulty down in games because I don't want the boss fights to be challenging, or to be honest, most of them aren't. But I don't want the difficulty ramped up when it comes to taking notes for me. And that's where I fully would set a game on easy, right? And I did. As a matter of fact, what's the game that allows you to choose? Do you want to find your way easily, or do you not? Like, in other words, it gives you more waypoints, like on a mini map, or none. And then it says, and then how do you want your combat?
Was that Balatro?
No, Balatro.
What an ugly thing to say.
Balatro doesn't have any form of that at all.
I think there's a couple of games that have that option. I believe Indiana Jones actually has in the if you go into the settings, there are some accessibility ones which make it so it's easier to follow where you're supposed to go next and everything.
Oh, is that right? Like more of a bread.
Yeah, but I do remember Indiana Jones was also one of those that it seemed like it rewarded you if you went off the path and found
which
there are like doors that you can unlock, which actually are like straight paths through. Instead of having to go through and traverse everything, you can just like open up all these shortcuts to go back. So when somebody's like,
which I did put that together today, because I did open up one of the doors and it like just led me straight back into an area, and I was like, okay, cool, so I can use this from here on out, right? So so I'm not complaining about the game at all, and I think that I probably just haven't spent enough time playing. I think I've got maybe 6 hours, 7 hours into it so far, but I'm just saying that
stupid. I hate this word
at that sort of like absorbing that game. And I was trying to figure that out, because other games I do get very good, like Baldur's Gate 3, very good at just knowing the land and knowing the city, like very immediately, like, okay, this city I get this. Over here is the tavern. And then if I go back all the way over here, Shadows Creed Mirage, I was having trouble with the same way. But when I was playing Shadows Creed Valhalla, I didn't have that problem at all. Like, I just knew the cities. So there's something in my brain about like if I something about the aesthetic of the city or something that allows me to remember.
Well,
it
I think it is also an aesthetic thing, because some of the newer games are grayscale. Like everything's grayscale. So sometimes you are sitting there going, okay, is that a wall I can climb, or is that not a wall I can climb? Is that part of a city? Is that a house? What is it? And I think.
Hey, real quick, guys, if you want, the Nintendo Switch 2 is up on Walmart right now.
Ooh.
If there's
a pre-order?
Yeah, I can pre-order it right now.
With Mario Kart?
Yep.
Do I get a hit of MDMA?
Nope.
Dathan,
do I get to go to the
Dathan got his and went right to bed.
That's why he said I got to go. You got the alert.
You can get the regular system and the bundle system.
Oh, hey. Can
there
you?
You go.
So how did you find it? So I'm on their website.
I was looking on X while we were talking.
X gonna give it to you.
All right. Thanks, Elon.
I love Tesla. So it's there it is. It says pre-order.
I like the people in the off topic. I like the people in the Teslas now. They're taking off the Tesla logo on the back of their car. Just have you seen those people? So like I don't own a Tesla. If you take off the Tesla out the back,
they all look the same.
The logo.
You can the logo.
I can tell. Exactly. That's my whole point. Like, I still know that's a Tesla. Even like you take off the T or whatever that is. Yeah, pre-order now. I don't have any pre-order links or affiliate links like some of these other guys. But yeah, if you guys want one, it's up on Walmart. I'm looking at the. Can I share my screen?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Is your credit card information on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean for Thor and Meatball, like I'm not saying that I have no opinion on it. I've just been trying to figure it out like as I'm playing games and trying to figure out like what it is that I enjoy about certain ones and not at others, and why some things don't click with me exactly, whereas they do on the same type of mechanic on a different game. And that to me is interesting, and I don't know why. Like I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, I have the same experience. Some games just don't click. And
it's weird because Eric's complained about how all games look same. Like that doesn't actually play out though when you're actually playing the game that looks same as the other game. Like, the combat can be the same, the story can be the same, but something about it clicks and hits different than on another one.
I started a website to lodge my complaint about these games. It's called alllooksame.com. Go ahead and go there.
Allplaysame.com.
Now, all right. Meatball Saucy, he says he honestly doesn't want to switch to. Eric isn't getting one right now, and Travis isn't.
I'll wait for the
getting
OLED
one right now. What? Okay, what would make you get it?
Wait for the OLED. Oh.
If they had an OLED, you would get it?
If they had,
I don't think so. I bet
FOMO.
I think it would take an OLED and an exclusive game that I care about, like Zelda,
and a hit at MDMA.
If Metroid was exclusive, would you get that?
Yeah, I'd be.
Yeah, he would get it if Metroid was out. Yeah.
Mike, I'd be interested in playing Madden on the Switch. I'd probably just, if it's a card release, I'll get it digitally, but I'd be interested in seeing what it's like. Hey, Pixelated Traveler. There's only one game to play at launch other than Mario Kart, and the other games come as... Yeah, that's what Eric's been talking about. Is this Eric?
It's my alt.
You have an alt? Yeah, that's...
I thought about it, but like I said, the attraction to me getting a Switch 2, when I looked at it, was just, I haven't played Nintendo games.
You haven't played Switch 1.
So it was kind of like, okay, well, I could play Nintendo games. And then I thought, well, but I can just have that Switch, so I can just play them on there.
You played Nintendo World Championships.
Yeah, I did. But that's not Nintendo games. That's a Nintendo game, and it's
it's Nintendo
in there.
But would
fun.
you have bought that game if it wasn't for everyone here who was playing it at the same time?
No,
because that's the other thing is Nintendo World.
Thor got one.
Nice. Works.
Nintendo World Championship. It was only
nice.
I was playing it only because of the fact that everybody else was. So
you were playing.
So it was it was fun that way to play it.
We should play again. I want to own your faces again.
Unless it's what kind of game do you suck
at?
Okay,
he's not good at Mario.
Was it Balloon Boy?
It's a Mario game. Then you don't.
No, Ice Climbers. You get it? The Ice Climbers.
Ice Climbers. I'm bad at that one too.
Okay, well, we'll play Ice Climbers.
But if it's like Zelda or Metroid or that balloon game, you guys are done.
You know what game I'm not good at is...
I'm just going to hire some Asian
the motorcycle
guy to
game.
Yeah, Excite Bike.
I'm not good at that one either. I don't know how to go.
That game's
I was
hard.
playing the SD game to try and get better at the Switch version.
Yeah, I think the Excite Bike is a bad game that people just got good at. Right, like it doesn't make any sense in the way that the mechanics work in quote unquote.
Except that the counter steering is really accurate. The physical model of actually how you counter steer the bike is totally spot on. So that's good. Yeah.
Right. So it's like it's one of these things where people just practice at it and then they get good. And I would argue that all of the Nintendo games kind of have that. And that's what I didn't have when I was a kid. I didn't have any practice at them. Right. So like you sit down with it and then you're like, okay, this game plays like this. So you play Mario until your friend says, okay, I'm done with this game. And then takes it out and then throws in a different one that's like Mario, but doesn't react and play the same way. And then you're like, okay, well, now I'm trying to get used to it. And then your friend goes, I'm bored with this one. I'm going to play this one over here. And then they throw an Excite Bike. And then you say, okay, this one's just dumb.
Hey, Meatball Saucy, Mike says he's going to be playing Ridge Racer Arcade. Is that a Switch 2 exclusive? That I don't know about. I'm trying to come up with a more of an exclusive list. So
Meatball's probably got a like 10K racing sim in his basement.
Oh, I know he does.
So why would he grab a Switch to play a racing game?
Yeah, so
Because
Eternal
it's cool.
Darkness, didn't we talk about that they're remastered? Or no, we were talking. I think I had mentioned that they should remaster that one, right? And that's how we got on Eternal Darkness last week or the week before.
That's the game that was always in Chris's video game store, his family's video game store that I always saw on the shelf no one would buy.
It's a good one.
Eternal
was
cover
good. I
got
beat it.
faded.
Eternal Darkness.
Yeah.
I beat it. It was good. Well,
You want a remaster rather than
no
a sequel?
spoilers.
You want
What?
to remaster that game rather than a sequel? Yeah.
Who, me?
They
I don't care one
they
way.
tried to do a
Like,
sequel to
I
it.
beat it. Yeah, they tried. Remember we
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about it. You might not have been,
No, I remember.
but yeah, they tried to do a sequel and it failed. So I think that a remaster would be okay because I think that the game didn't get played a lot by people, and I think that it could it could find a new audience, right? Like you could just find one, any audience.
I think
more than me, and it's got a
it
big
came
audience.
out at the perfect time where there wasn't a lot of like online guides and people weren't putting videos
Yes.
out. So a lot of the gimmicks of like blue screen of death while you're playing the game just because the game is like, yeah, hey, look at this, we're messing with your sanity as well.
Yeah.
You know, in this day and age, everybody would be online being like, oh yeah, if you play this game, expect this to happen. And
Yeah.
but then you lose out on the experience of that happening.
Inscription.
Yeah, that's true.
We went in blind Inscription.
Yeah.
Both
That's
Travis
because
and
you weren't on the right forums. That's
Well,
Right. That
But-
well, there
yeah.
is
The
truth to
point
that.
the point that I would like to make about Inscription is that it was an indie game.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a big game if it's a big studio that makes a game like that, you're going to see headlines for all of the spoilers immediately. So
The point I would like to make about Inscription is if it was a big game, a big studio game, the acting wouldn't have sucked as bad.
well, I mean, have you ever played?
As long as
Christ,
Bethesda-
my God.
Voice acting in
As long as
Oblivion?
it wasn't backed by
Yeah, right.
Bethesda. Otherwise, they would have just put Jean-Luc
Yeah.
Picard in it.
Mhm.
So stupid. I hate this.
I think you've got my cartridge. And then shoot him. You know, that'd be sad.
Well,
No, I don't know. Let's make a remake of it.
Yeah, Mike, is Fast Fusion a Switch 2 exclusive? That's what I want to find out. Someone Google that.
What is Fast Fusion? Is it just a Mario Party sort of game?
It's I think they just announced it. I should have pulled video of it.
Or is that one of the racing games? Oh, he says other launch.
it's a type of
titles.
nuclear
Okay, so it's
reactor,
racing.
Travis. Where
Oh,
Uh-oh. Hopefully, yeah. Are the Russians watching this stream?
if anybody has extra smoke detectors, by the way, I could use them.
Yeah,
I'm building a nuclear reactor in my
that's right.
backyard.
I was like, oh, that's
it's always good to have a hobby.
Yeah.
Keyboard Chris,
What's the question?
Do
is
you have
Fast
extra smoke
Fusion a
detectors?
Switch 2 exclusive?
Oh.
How could it not be with that name? It has to be. Like that screams Nintendo.
Also, the Nintendo Switch 2 is still available at Walmart. If anyone else wants
They're
it.
just going to cancel the orders later. Sorry,
and then
Thor.
confirm your order after they canceled it.
Yeah, then confirm it after they cancel it. and then send you to the rave party.
What's the game called?
But they're out of MDMA, so good luck.
Yeah, the pharmacy's closed.
It doesn't say. I mean, based on the info from talking to the game director,
it's not available on Switch.
It just says it's going to be. It just says it's one of many titles coming to Switch 2 on launch day. That's all they say about it. So
it's not on Switch 1, so maybe it's an exclusive for the Switch.
It's
universe.
exclusive of the Switch 1. That doesn't mean it's exclusive to the Switch 2.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite possible this may be a Switch 2 only game, but yeah, it's there's nothing that says it's not going to come out on Xbox or PlayStation or PC at any point in time.
Who's the developer?
Shine?
Who?
Shine?
Leviosa.
No, it's
Hideo.
It's Kian.
What?
Kian.
It is SHIN''EN.
I'm looking on the Nintendo site here, and it doesn't even say it on here. Read more.
Shinen.
Shannon Multimedia.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be a crap game.
Meatball Saucy says no info on the game outside of Switch 2 discussion. So maybe it is a launch title for Switch 2 only.
Yeah, it doesn't.
What are you talking about, Meatball Saucy? This is totally a system seller.
They're based in Munich places. Mieten.
Hey.
Oh, hey.
Thor just told his wife that they got a Switch 2.
Hey, congrats. I mean, I'm congratulating you that your wife's not mad. I mean, good on you for the Switch 2 as well. But
see, his wife's happy too.
Great.
It's like, is your wife a big gamer, Thor KC, or is she more casual?
Oh.
See, I think
Nintendo means casual.
Guys, it doesn't look that good. This certainly is not a system seller. I
agree. Clap.
I don't think this is going to be a Nintendo only game.
That's too bad.
Because looking at the developers' previous games, they've all come to every other system.
Yeah, but that's the same with the guys who did Eternal Darkness.
Maybe it's a timed exclusive.
Yeah, that's what
that's
I meant.
possible.
It's $15.
Nintendo hires people to just do Nintendo only games, right?
Yeah, but Meatball, if you didn't have one, would your wife want a ROG Ally for Christmas? Probably not, right?
Christmas is a ways away. We got time. Let's not talk about it. Move on.
Yeah, maybe that's Christmas next year.
Walmart's already trying to
for Christmas.
This year, tell her that Mario Kart World is going to be on Switch 2. See what she says.
Hold on.
I'm only getting the Switch 2 because Mrs. Thor wants. I think I'll inherit her OLED.
It's a good system.
Yeah, like Rare back in the day for Nintendo. It's true. There's a lot of these companies that
like Rare back in the day,
make games for specific companies and then eventually they move on, like Bungie.
Mm-hmm.
And then they come out with a game called Marathon that everybody's just kind of like, what is this?
Because did you tell her that the Nintendo doesn't have a variety of games?
There's very few adult titles for the Nintendo.
I have Leisure Suit Larry on my Switch, so come on. There's nothing.
Everything's on Switch.
There's nothing more adult than that.
There's no XXX games on Switch. There are on
exclusively
Steam,
play
right?
now. So
That's what Fast Fusion is. Fast Fusion has taken the place of the Triple X. And they're both
Triple X
racing
BMX.
games.
That's what I play.
Yeah. Flex BMX. What a stupid thing that was.
What about
There.
Oh, I bought a copy of that recently.
I know.
Yeah.
what about Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball?
No, Dead or Alive Extreme Volleyball.
That's Xbox.
That was a great game.
It had physics. It had physics.
Xbox exclusive.
The plot points
Was
were
that an
amazing.
Xbox?
Yeah.
They paid for
Yeah.
exclusivity
All the
on that
Dead or
one?
Alive stuff was Xbox exclusive, right?
Okay, yeah. Fast Fusion for the win. Let's go.
I don't know. There's only so many F-Zeros you need, and that was basically just F-Zero.
Huh. It's interesting. I searched Dead or
Although
Dead or Alive, and the first thing
Yeah.
that pops up is an English pop band.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, Dead or Alive in the 80s.
I remember them.
Right?
Yeah.
I was going to say there's only one F-Zero that you need, but Audio Surf has gotten a lot of hours of gameplay on my end. And that was basically an F-Zero clone to music.
Oh, you spin me around. Okay.
Yeah. That's Dead or Alive.
Audio Surf?
Yeah. You don't remember
remember.
Audio Surf?
Huh.
Yeah.
Is that Napster time period?
Kind of.
No.
LimeWire?
Well, maybe, I guess. I mean, it takes your MP.
Yeah.
It would take an MP3 audio file, create a custom track for it, like a custom race track
Yeah.
for it. Then you had a little F-Zero type vehicle that you'd go,
Oh, okay.
go
gotcha.
pick up bricks or dodge bricks, things like that. Yeah,
Meatball,
was
I
pretty-
love Forza 5. That is, for me, probably the best racing game that I've ever played.
Do you have a video?
the best.
Meatball, do you have a video on your racing setup? Like $700 seems like too good to be true.
He's got everything.
Like too cheap, too.
He's got
expensive for it.
He's got the that arcade game that's got
I
the
know.
3 wheels on it.
I know.
What's that game called? That game's awesome.
It is awesome. Off-road, among other things.
Off-road. Waller's Pizza used to have
Yes, it
that,
did.
Oh yeah.
and they sold
All
it.
you do is get yourself a Best Buy employee T-shirt, and then you walk in the back and look like you belong there.
Yeah.
$700 is cheap, okay?
Meatball, can you do Forza 5 in VR? That'd be awesome. Maybe that's for Forza 6.
I thought you could do Forza in VR. One of the games, one of the bigger titles has a.
I
VR
believe it
mod
was
for
Gran
them.
Turismo had the VR.
Yeah, it's Gran Turismo.
'Cause it-
Well, that's for PlayStation.
Yeah, but
No, I'm talking about on PC. I thought that Forza 5 had a VR mod.
Forza
But I-
Horizon, I don't think is in VR yet, but I could be wrong. Let me.
Yeah.
Speaking of Forza Horizon, I wonder if they're going to come out with a new version of that. Maybe next year. Didn't we? We haven't talked about it here, but there's going to be an Xbox showcase in June. Is that right, Chris?
yeah, I believe it was June 6th.
I gotta think. I know that team is also working on Fable, but I
Oh, that's
wonder
cool.
if they're also going to put out Forza Horizon 6.
June 8th. It's going to be on a Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, they always do it on a Sunday for some reason.
And it's going to be followed by the big game is Outer Worlds 2. So they'll have it.
Yeah, there'll be a
They'll have a
showcase.
direct for that after the showcase.
And there's no live show. Microsoft usually does some kind of event, and usually they do one in LA, and then they'll have another one in Europe or other parts of the world, and one in Germany. But they are not doing any live events this year, which is interesting. Project Racing is the big PC VR game. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. Project Gotham is, or I mean, Project Cars
Racing.
Project Cars Racing, right? Or maybe it is just Project Racing. I thought though that Forza had a PC. I'm looking it up, and
there are mods for Forza Horizon 5.
The Vorpet, right?
But they don't. I guess they've got a bunch of problems with them because the developers actually locked down a lot of stuff.
Hey,
I swear I had it in VR.
Speaking of VR, the MetaQuest 3, there's like a cheap version of the MetaQuest 3 that's like $250. Is that worth getting you guys that are into the VR? Like, or should you get the better version?
I think you'd have to get the better version when I looked at it back when it was announced. I can't remember.
It's a pretty good price, though.
I reached that conclusion, but there was something about it.
I wouldn't mind just getting ones just so I could play the pinball in VR. Like, I don't want to play anything too involved. And I think the cheap version also has that Batman game.
Don't you have a PlayStation VR setup, or do you not?
I do. Oh, he says no.
I think that there's a reason for I don't know what the reason is, but there was something that really, like, to me was like a no deal on it to recommend.
It's a pretty good price though.
But not
if
it's
a
crap.
Good price if you don't use it.
No.
Like it's a bad price if you don't
do it.
Plus, I mean, this is my biggest thing that I ask anybody that's thinking about buying a VR thing. Because a lot of people do use it, so I'm not saying that they won't. But you have a VR setup. How often do you use it?
It will not be crisp. Not a good experience.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Meatball.
Okay, so what's the one to get?
The full Quest 3.
The full. Okay, Mike has one. He has it's called the 3S.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it was a really good deal on Black Friday, under $90. Yeah, that's a hell of a good deal.
This is the second best deal the red card gave him.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the second best, is it?
Uh-oh. We lost him.
There he is.
There he is. All right, back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't use my PlayStation VR 2 nearly as much as I thought.
Yeah,
I
mean, it's just like the reason I ask is people is because
Adam, we already talking about it. Or KC got one just
congrats.
Now. You just got one. Nice. Okay. Say you learned about it here, and not from anywhere else.
Yeah, that's the Quest 3S, or the MetaQuest 3S. The big thing everybody says is the display is such a downgrade from the 3 that even though it's cheaper, that's the thing that really kind of hurts it.
Yeah, because I have a Quest 2 that collects dust over here, but it's fine. It does its thing. And then when I think that it was that the 3S was basically would just be a side grade at that point, if not a downgrade, because of the memory. I can't remember what it was that made it seem like it would be a downgrade. And then going to like the 3 Max or whatever the 3 regular model looked good, but it's expensive for something that I just don't play very often.
The Nintendo Switch is still available right now. It's crazy how it's available at 10:30 at night. 10:30 at night on a Friday.
They're all going to get canceled.
Well, that's because
it's an accidental posting.
Everybody's sitting there watching the NFL draft.
Well, they heard Dathan say that there's going to be more.
How low is Sanders going to drop?
Round 4.
Nah.
4th or 5th.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, he has to go the 4th, right? Because the 3rd is already done, right? The 3rd round's already over.
He doesn't have to get drafted at all.
I know. I want to be a fly on the wall I wish I could have been a fly on the wall for those interviews that he did, because
you
he
see,
must
like,
have really just
he
trashed
totally
it.
like he made this room where he's got hats on the wall, and it's got like it says like champion or something, and he put some money into it. And he's got like this huge necklace that's
You
like
got a
made of
dad,
diamonds
man.
or something.
It doesn't matter. You got Dion as your dad.
Yeah.
Dion knows how to market himself.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Dion knows how to play football.
The display difference really shouldn't be a deal breaker for most people. The 3S is the same optics as the Quest 2, so it's fine, but the pancake lenses give a larger FOV.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Is it good for wearing glasses? Can you put it on with the glasses? It's probably no problem.
I know think it would be a
Dave's
problem.
not here. I saw the Seahawks drafted the Alabama quarterback.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but they did get the O-line pick for the first round. That was good.
Yeah,
We'll see if he pans out, though.
Who's the Alabama quarterback? Jalen Hurts, is that right? No, that's Philadelphia.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know my NFL. But anyway, I don't know. I was just thinking about that 3S. It's like a good price.
Yeah. 3's a good system, but some of the games that are on the 3 and the PSVR 2 look better on the PSVR 2.
I know, but they don't. The PSVR 2 doesn't have the Pinball FX. Maybe it will
I heard
eventually.
good things about the Big Screen Beyond 2 headsets, but it is $1,000. So there you go.
Oh, is that, and that's made by the Big Screen peeps? Yeah.
You can get 2 switches for that.
One for each eye.
Yeah, actually, Thor's got a good point. You just Ryan, you just go buy. They're not that expensive, but you can buy prescription lenses to be made for the VR headset that you choose, and then you just pop those in.
Oh, okay.
Over your lenses. They work great. They really do.
Huh.
And then you don't have to deal with the glasses. I think they run like $50 for the prescription ones, and there's a couple companies that make them.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, that's the way to
make
go.
a wireframe and just wear them outside of the headset.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, yes, you could do that.
You don't even need that.
Your headset
wear 'em
off
everywhere.
because it's got pass through.
Yeah, you just wear them walking around.
Yeah, I think that the ones that I bought were made by.
Isn't
made by
Apple's supposed to be making a cheaper version of their VR? I think.
I doubt it. I think that bombed so bad.
It bombed so bad, so they
cut
realized
bait.
that the price point of what they had was too high. They got to make
It's
it.
just not
cheaper.
they keep trying to like make their
they keep
the user group like
they keep trying to make fetch. It's not going to happen.
Well, it's just that they have a demographic that buys Apple stuff, and they keep thinking that they can make that also part of like the Intel and the PC, the Windows area as well, that they can just envelop it, and they just can't. And I think that it hurts when they do it. I think that it's not a good idea for them to keep trying to diversify in that area, but instead just really like keep making things that make content creators, artists, musicians, all of that stuff better. Because you see the same thing with their gaming strategy. Every 3 years they go, "Hey, guess what? We're going to become a gaming platform now. And here's this game. This is the first one in a long line of them that are coming out in the next few years. Buy a new MacBook Pro." And then people buy the MacBook Pro based off that. They get that one game and then nothing else after.
Hey, Apple. Apple, if you want to, I will shill for you if you want to send me one of your products.
Here you go. If you really want
Which
that
one, that?
I mean, look at how happy that guy is.
There it is.
Yeah,
Does Meatball Saucy have this one? Because he has everything else. He has the pop-in lenses. Does he have this?
Yeah, that
He
can
has
replace
everything.
your Nintendo 3D that you have right now, Eric. Yeah.
And I mean, you could be.
He looks really
He
happy.
is
Yeah.
so happy.
Well,
Wow.
you've never
Does
seen
this work on the
F-Zero
Switch too?
No.
Well,
It requires OLED.
Shit.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh, you can for $20 get yourself a for the Switch 2 a mouse house for the controller, so you can move it around like an actual mouse.
Oh, funny.
Which I was kind of like, well, if you have a 3D printer, you could do the same thing for free.
Yeah, you can do the same thing.
Oh, pinball!
Yeah, the pinball on Quest 3 is like, well, on Quest 2 and on any VR headset, it was cool on the HP Reverb 2, all that stuff. It is cool. But yes, that part is true.
Neck cramps?
And then yeah, because you've got such a front heavy thing and you are just looking down at the table
Yeah.
an hour or more if you're really into it, right? So, but then though on top of that though, Meatball, you've got VPN. So it's why do the well, guess well, because you can still
got
put
everything.
Yeah, but you can put Pinball M on the VPN, right?
Yeah, what strap do you use? What strap on do you use?
All right.
He's got
All
everything.
right. Maybe it's my cue.
This shows it off the rail. Oh, brother.
He's talking about the headset with the Switch. Well, that's why you just lay in your bed. You have to lay in your bed with your head down, and then you stare at your VR headset with that, you know.
Yeah, but they don't make any XXX games for Switch. We already talked about this.
That's why you get the one Meatball Saucy. He'll tell you exactly the one to get.
Well, just ask Travis to mod you a game there, Eric. You know, then you can have your.
Eric needs a 486.
You gotta play some TIE Fighter.
It holds
it's a great game.
It holds up to the
Can you play Space Quest?
What about did you ever play what was the one that had X-Wing versus TIE Fighter?
I have that.
There was a follow-up to that
X-Wing Alliance.
Rebel Alliance.
X-Wing Alliance.
Yeah,
have that one too. Beat that one.
X-Wing Alliance was
very
good. Too bad you're wrong.
Do you remember when they also had like a graphics card come out around that same time? And I just remember the graphics really popping on those old PCs. It was like the FX chip or
the 3D effects. You're probably thinking of the Monster 3D.
The Voodoo
card,
which you could that was the first card I was aware of that you could SLI, and I actually did with my because I had a Voodoo 2 and someone else had one, and we put both of them in my machine and SLI'd them once. It was it worked, but then it crashed.
It crashed a lot
in SLI.
Very buggy station,
They need to remake that game for modern.
So they did a VR
Squadrons.
They did a Star Wars
Squadrons.
No one liked it. No one liked it.
People liked it. I think
people liked it. It just
it didn't take off. I don't know why. But if I was to speculate, and I will,
please do.
If I was to speculate,
well, it was buggy as crap on launch.
On launch, sure, but what isn't? I mean, that's everything's buggy on launch now.
Yeah,
okay, hold on.
Everything's unfinished.
It failed for this reason, and I know because I was in the meetings. It was priced high. It was buggy at launch, and it was very online community centric. Because of its bugginess at launch and its high price point, it didn't get the adoption rate that it needed to really get legs with the online.
I was gonna so I got it for $20 when the price dropped.
Yeah,
and there's
the price
no
definitely
dropped.
And my speculation would be even when they because relative to X-Wing Alliance and TIE Fighter and X-Wing and all the other flight sim Star Wars games that came before,
relative to those, this game was dumbed down quite a bit. There was way fewer controls you needed to master in order to fly successfully. But even so, there was quite a few controls you needed to master to fly successfully. And people don't.
Yeah.
I think people most gamers don't want to spend that time figuring out how to fly.
Yeah, and really it was just balancing the shields to the weapons, to your defense and your offense. Right?
Which is
That
a
was
skill
really
we all have from
aspect.
20 or 30 years ago when we were playing.
Yeah.
But the new generation.
But that is
doesn't.
Right. And to be honest, it's kind of a dumb mechanic.
Yeah, sure.
Like, it doesn't really add anything to the game. It's just
I think it adds complication, and if you're looking for something complicated to do, then and you enjoy mastering things. That part was kind of fun. But I think it did very much feel like, oh, they said this in the movie, so if we tack this in on the game in the 90s, people will know that we're being true to the source material.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It also forced you to play in ships that may not be fun to play in.
It did.
Like, it did during the story, which you didn't have to play through. It did force you to experience all of the ships that were offered in both sides, on both sides, and some of them weren't fun for me.
Like the supply ships or the U-wing or.
What was the little A-wing too, right?
Oh yeah, the A-wing.
I love the A-wing.
Yeah,
A-wing's my favorite.
But see, that's what I was going to say. Is that people don't will like.
Oh, he's got the Lego sets of the A-wing.
Well, I have the Lego sets because it's a great.
But even playing
it was a great ship to fly in. That's why I had those.
Yeah.
My question is, did you guys ever play Steel Battalion on the Xbox?
No, but I want to.
No, but what is
Steel
it?
Battalion?
That's the one that came with this
massive
rig.
dedicated controller that had a bunch of buttons that basically did nothing once the game launched, but were there for immersion. But it looks awesome. I want to play it.
Oh wait, Chris, do that again. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Yeah, it was sad that more games didn't use the hardware.
Yeah, it was only that game. It was that big of a rig dedicated to one game.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember it.
We actually had someone trade one in at my brother and dad's store.
Yeah.
So I gotta see it. The game didn't work. The game was scratched.
That's too bad.
Wow, we actually found something the Meatball Saucy doesn't own. His brother-in-law owns one. That's pretty close.
Yeah. But yeah, that was.
Yeah, okay, and so Thor agrees with you, Eric, that doesn't necessarily agree with you, but is echoing what you said.
Oh, the learning curve being steep,
was pretty vicious. Well, he doesn't say the learning curve. Thor, are you saying learning or difficulty? Because
does the game ramp its difficulty curve, or is it just difficult to learn how to fly?
I think that it ramped up the difficulty, if I recall correctly.
I didn't play enough to know because it's a PC only.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Of Squadron's
PC only.
Oh, I know it's PC only, but I thought that you did play it.
No,
Star Wars Squadrons was on console too.
Oh well, I'm sorry. It's not ported to Mac, is what it's exclusive of Mac.
Yeah.
And it won't work on his
or a Nintendo
240. Is that what it was? 260.
What?
Your PC you built back in the
2000s? Yeah.
Oh.
286.
286.
12 megahertz.
Yeah, only 20 years too late.
It's been 2 hours, you guys. Any final thoughts?
Let's live stream Steel Battalion next time. Somebody get us a copy.
Well, Thor, you could play it. You could play through the single player campaign, and it was long. I thought it was a good amount of single player content.
Switch 2 is still up, you guys. Wow.
Well, I wonder if those aren't going to get canceled from what you guys were saying about it getting sold out that rapidly.
They found their inventory from the other night.
It fell on a truck.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, you guys?
Let's land party squadrons.
There we
We're doing it.
Okay.
You can't. I don't think you can
Live
land party
stream.
it.
Of course you can. You can all join the same server.
I don't think you can.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah, I'd be down to do some kind of a challenge at PRG for sure. To make
not in the stream, Eric. Come on.
We got to do that, and then we got to but we got to take shots or something in the parking lot.
Don't cross the stream.
Challenge accepted.
That'd be good, and I can film it.
Content. We love content.
Andor 2.
Exactly.
When did Andor 2 come out? Is it all?
No,
the first 3 episodes are out, right?
Why
is there going to be an episode a week?
It's like 3,
That's
2,
stupid.
3, 3, 2, 1, or something like that.
Are there
There's
12 again?
Are they
And
seriously
then
doing
this
that
is
just so
it.
that people don't subscribe and then just cancel after they watch it over a day?
There's no season 3.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
We know Cassian Andor. He's going to survive till the movie.
So you mean there's no season 3 ever planned?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's too early for them to know yet because it'll depend on what the
No.
demand is for this,
That's
right?
not a thing.
What do you mean?
There's no flexibility. If this does well, we're going to make season 3. That's not how it works.
Why not? Every TV show works that way, right?
Not this one.
They could make a movie.
Not this one. Okay.
They could make Road 2. They already made Road 1. They could make Road 2.
You think because it's got a story end because it's integrated into the movie that it can't be that way?
Yeah.
That they can't just stall.
Well,
for
obviously,
time?
there's a hard stop.
Yeah.
And there's only so much time. I mean, it's no spoiler to say that season 2 opens with BBY4, which is, for those uninitiated, the before Battle of Yavin, year 4. And Battle of Yavin is the end of Star Wars. So you're 4 years before the end of the first movie. And so if they go up, if the end of this season is the Battle of Yavin or close to it, there's nowhere else to go unless you do flashbacks or something. But I don't know.
Yeah, you can do flashbacks, or you could maybe.
But also, no, the
of
showrunners have
season
said
be
they're not going to do. They're going to do what they're going to do. What they're going to do. Yeah.
And
They
so
need
how
to
many
do
seasons
more
did they say then, just
shows
2?
right in that time period. Like I love.
Yeah, they could. Yeah.
Even Andor season 1, it's really good how it's not set in the episode 7 era or whatever. This is like the great.
Yeah.
This is excellent Star Wars stuff, and I also wanted to say this show, it makes it a reason why to hate the Empire now.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't even get that feeling in the Star Wars movies. Why do we hate the Empire so much? In Andor, you learn to freaking hate the Empire.
I thought they were all right.
They are assholes, and you don't want to support them. Why are we getting? I'm getting Twitch bombed now. I had to block.
No,
Okay.
you're not getting Twitch bombed. This is
I don't know what
streamblue.com. I keep telling everybody
what that was.
all the good chats are at streamblue.com.
I mean, we all say that.
Right. You do have to remove the space, of course. If you want cheap viewers, like the cheapest, we're talking diamond.
We have the
viewers,
cheapest viewers. I
streamblue.com.
mean, Meatball.
Yeah, we do.
Not with the super
No, we
chats
have,
we've been getting.
we have the classy
the
viewers.
cheapest you can
Yeah,
get.
we got the high.
We have the classy.
But if you ever do feel like you're have too much high rolling viewers, just head over to streamboo.com.
That's for episode 69.
Nice.
Okay.
Next week is episode 69.
Nice.
No, I didn't. I didn't think so. Okay, so did you think that the first 3 episodes were boring?
I thought they
didn't
were
think so.
slow. I didn't say they were boring.
I didn't think they were.
But I
slow.
love slow, boring stuff. So I
hate it, and I didn't think that
I would
it was
get
slow.
if other people did not like it.
Are there any lightsabers?
In what?
in season 2.
In episodes
season
1, 2,
2.
and 3. So that's what I was going to say. I think the reason the reason that this is so different is because it is just about normal people.
Yeah, that part's
and
true, right.
the reason it's giving you all of these reasons to hate the Empire is because you're seeing the average citizen's experience of what it is to live under the Empire much more than you did in any of the other films. But yeah, it's good.
There's also I know we don't like talking about politics, but I also see some kind of stuff that's going on in real life.
Well,
also kind of happening.
Yeah, well, what's his name? Lucas. He was pretty explicitly being political when he was portraying the Empire. And if you watch interviews with him about inspirations he used for the Empire, he'll explicitly tell you that the uniforms, for example, are based off of Nazis. It's not too hard to see that. But also the rebels he was modeling after the Vietnamese. So who's the Empire in that scenario? But yeah, he kind of explicitly says that in a couple of interviews that I've seen from like the 80s.
Yeah,
I didn't get that at all.
But he has nothing to do with this.
With Phantom Menace, I had no idea that was going on.
No, I'm not talking about Phantom Menace. I'm talking about Andor.
Yeah. No, I know.
I mean,
the Senate, everything, all that. I just thought it was brand new, never brought up before.
I think I thought that Andor was fine, but I didn't really get all the Empire hate. I thought it was fine. At least the people
I
voted for the
have
Empire.
A good story.
Like it's fine.
Yeah.
To have a good story, you need to have a great villain or villains,
and that's that stupid tourist.
Yeah,
he's just a tourist, Travis.
I don't even know what we're talking about
and
now.
Make some parts for this thing. Okay?
Let's say better end this show, guys. Thank you for watching. Like this video, consider subscribing if you're not. Asa Jax, you doing any videos this week?
I'm going to be going and seeing Until Dawn. So I'll put up a review
video from Chris
based on a PlayStation video game.
Yeah, so is that's a movie made out of the game?
Well, they took you
gotta let him explain it in his video.
They took the idea for the game and they made a movie, but the movie looks like it changes quite a bit. So it's just taking a few ideas from the game and applying them.
So I like horror games and I like horror movies sometimes. But I never played, and I like the PlayStation 5 games that have been ported over to, or PlayStation games that have been ported over to PC. Until Dawn got ported over like a year ago, and I never picked it up from Steam because the reviews were so subpar on that game, like it was a waste of money, blah blah blah.
So it's not. You don't get a lot of control in it. So if for most of the game, you can walk from point A to point B, and then you get choices you can make. But it's kind of like a choose your own adventure book.
Yeah. It's like that one studio who makes the Quarry and games like that.
That was their first game in that series. So Until Dawn, it's the same. It's the same studio. They're story-wise, the games of all I've enjoyed them all, but I can also look at them and go, yeah, this isn't for like 85% of the gaming population out there, because most people pick up a game because they want to play it and not just choose certain points. But I was going to say to your point earlier, Doom: The Dark Ages is using id's new Tech 8 engine. So this will be the first game that's on their new engine. Indiana Jones was using their Tech 7, which was
their old one.
Carmack's still there. He's still the guy.
No, Carmack went on to Oculus, which then Meta bought out, and I don't know what he's doing now.
Yeah, Telltale.
Telltale, yeah. Not it wasn't Telltale, but same sort of
Hey,
idea.
that's the kind of game, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. You guys, we done?
I guess that's the final thoughts.
All right.
If you haven't seen it yet,
Okay,
go
guys.
see Sinners.
Sinners.
Really good movie.
Okay.
Final slot.
All right, thank you. All right, like this video, guys. Consider subscribing. We'll see you next week for episode 69 because you guys are looking forward to that.
This will be a big one.
Yeah. I was gonna. All right. It's getting late. Have a good night, guys.